as you get involved in the Medicare system, you'll see there's these different letters that represent different types of coverages by Medicare. Hello and welcome to Medicare School Daily, where we help you understand Medicare, save money, avoid mistakes, and above all else, get the most out of your Medicare benefits. Now, today's topic is actually a question, and the question is this: what are the four parts of Medicare? So let's look at the details of these letters. So the first part is Part A. Now, Part A is called actually hospitalization. At least that's what's on your Medicare card. But what Part A is doing is it's covering all your inpatient type services. So this means that somebody has been admitted to the hospital. They're not under observation, that's outpatient, but they've been admitted to the hospital, so Part A is going to cover the bills. This would be nursing services and room and board and the different tests that the hospital may run while you're being admitted. So A is going to pay those bills. Now, Part B is covering those things that are outpatient related. And so this would be someone goes in for an MRI, or maybe they have a cataract surgery, or maybe a knee replacement, or they go see a doctor. All the outpatient type services, including all doctor-related services, are going to be covered by B. Now, there's also something else covered by B. It's a little bit surprising, and that would be all the doctors that actually take care of you while you're in the hospital. So B covers all physicians, whether that's inpatient or outpatient. A took care of the facilities, but B is going to take care of the doctors that take care of you in those facilities. This would be hospitalists, emergency room doctors, surgeons, and anesthesiologists. And so all the doctors are covered by B, whether they take care of you in or outpatient. So B is going to pay for those types of services. Now, most people that decide to stay in original Medicare are also going to get a supplemental plan. And so what supplemental plans do is they supplement the gaps that A and B did not cover. So A and B pays first, but Medicare pays first, and there's always some financial responsibility that you have. And so people who stay in A and B will typically get a supplemental plan to fill in those gaps. And so there's actually 3 gaps on the A and 3 gaps on the B. And so what people do, they'll get a supplemental plan, a Medigap policy to fill in those gaps so they do not have to pay for those financially, all right? So that's what supplemental plans do. They're supplementing original Medicare A and B. Now, the third part of Medicare is actually called the C plan. Now, A and B actually started in 1965. Supplemental plans began at the same time. But in 2003, under the second George Bush administration, Medicare came up with an alternative to original Medicare A and B, and they gave it the letter C to represent those plans. We call those in the marketplace Advantage plans. And so Advantage plans actually replace A and B. So when you go on Medicare, you're either going to stay in A and B, probably get a supplemental plan, or you will not stay in A and B, you'll actually get a C plan. And so that means that now you have a private health insurance company that's replaced A and B. Now, you're still on Medicare, but when it comes to the bills and all the rules, it is the private health insurance company that is going to dictate those rules and now be financially responsible for you. That's an Advantage plan. That is Part C. Okay, so it's either this or it's that by itself. Now, we also have to have a drug plan, and those are called Part D. Now, this is the self-administered drugs. So this would be your cholesterol meds or high blood pressure meds or heart medication, but things that you actually take on your own. Now, the truth is Part C and B, these actually will pay for medications, but those are professionally administered medications. But the medications that we take on our own, those are going to be covered by drug plans. Now, you're going to notice here that when we buy a drug plan, if I stay in this original Medicare A and B, my drug plan is going to be standalone. It's actually a separate plan, separate policy, separate premium, usually at even a different company. But if I take a C plan, what happened is that drug plan is embedded within the Advantage plan. So it's actually C and D. And so they will embed a prescription drug plan. So we all need to have some type of a drug component. And that's what the Part D plans are for. So when people go on Medicare, here's the way it works. They could have A and B, get a supplemental plan to fill in the gaps. Most people buy an F, a G, or an N plan, and then they add to that a drug plan. That's one option. The other option is to get a Medicare Advantage plan called a C, and they will add a D plan to that. So Medicare Advantage covers us on the medical side, inpatient, outpatient, and the drug plan is going to take care of our self-administered prescription drugs. All right, so those are the 4 parts of Medicare: A, B, C, and D. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video, and I do hope that it was helpful. Now, if you feel like you need to learn more about Medicare to make sure you're making the right Medicare decision, really the best way and the easiest way to do that is to go to MedicareSchool.com. That's MedicareSchool.com, and you'll be given the opportunity to click on Get the Free Workshop. We call that the Essentials Workshop, and I do all the teaching, and there you'll learn all the ins and outs of Medicare to make sure that you have an accurate and thorough understanding of how Medicare works. The second thing you can do is click where it says Talk to a Medicare Guide, and there you can actually set up a time where you can discuss your situation with the Medicare Guide. They'll explain all your options, and they'll actually even walk you through the enrollment process as well if that's what you need to do. And so go to MedicareSchool.com, watch the workshop, or talk to a Medicare Guide. It would be our privilege to assist you further.